Fulton County, Georgia, Maricopa County in Arizona, these are hotly contested areas where the Republican and Democratic balance is just about 50-50. And the race usually, that is the presidential race, usually hinges on who wants some of these swing states. Well, what happened in Georgia's Fulton County? Finally, an admission by somebody in the elections office that 315,000 votes may have not been handled correctly. What was it that was mishandled, and what was the margin of defeat for Trump in the state of Georgia? 11,500 votes. So hypothetically, if these 315,000 votes had been disqualified, Trump would have won. Not only that, two senators from Georgia went Democrat, but they could have become Republican, in which case Trump would have come back, and also he would have had a majority in the Senate. These are all things that could have changed the history of the United States. Unfortunately, we have what we have, but we can see and learn from how things went wrong. I have a small infographic to share with you and a request to all of you to like this video. And if you have not subscribed to our channel, do subscribe to our channel. Here we go. Who was Parashurama, who led a life of devotion, dedication, and daring? Why did he take birth on the earth? Was it to eradicate corrupt Kshatriya rulers who had become tyrannical and oppressive, or was it to bestow daya for the needy? So what happened? The claim, 315,000 unsigned early votes. So in December 2025 hearing, allegations surfaced that Fulton County counted approximately 315,000 early voting ballots in the 2020 election without the legally required poll worker signatures on the daily tabulation tapes. The challenge brought by election integrity activists argued that the lack of signatures meant that these vote batches were never properly certified at the level. Well, Fulton County did admit at the state election board hearing. Fulton County attorney Ann Brumbaugh admitted to the procedural failure. She stated, "We don't dispute that the tapes were not signed," acknowledging that 36 out of 37 early voting precincts failed to sign the closing tapes as required by Georgia rule. This was a violation of the official election record document process. The tabulation tapes versus ballots. We need to understand what is the difference between the two. It's crucial to distinguish between them. What is a ballot and what is a tabulation tape? The ballots themselves were cast by voters and were not missing signatures. Sometimes the voter signatures go on absentee envelopes or check-in forms, not on the ballot itself. The tabulation tapes or recap sheets are the long paper receipts printed by voting machines at the end of the day. Poll workers must sign these to verify that the machine count matches the number of voters. The missing signatures broke the administrative chain of custody, not the validity of the individual ballots. I'll have an input on this also, on the validity of the individual ballots. The Trump-Raffensperger connection. On Jan 2nd, 2021, there was a phone call from Trump to the Secretary of State of Georgia, Brad Raffensperger, to find 11,780 votes. Trump's team had argued that loose administrative procedures made the certification invalid. Had this admission of the 315,000 uncertified votes been confirmed in late 2020, it would have provided specific ammunition for Trump's legal argument that the election results were technically void due to non-compliance with the state law. Well, this is what is a final verdict. While Fulton County admitted to the procedural violation of failing to sign tabulation tapes for close to 315,000 votes, the State Election Board and the Secretary of State's office have maintained that this administrative error did not alter the actual vote count. The investigation substantiated the rule violation but concluded it was the result of poor management and human error rather than fraud, leaving the 2020 election results certified and unchanged. So the process was not followed. So let's take this thing a little bit further away from the exact problem. What happens if you send in a ballot without signing it? Yeah, you voted, but you didn't sign it. Is that valid or not? It's not valid. Why? Because you didn't sign it, right? So if you can apply that logic to an individual ballot, why would you not want to apply the same logic to this bunch of 315,000? That's the 36 out of 37 bunches that came in. How could somebody forget to validate this on 36 of the 37 bunches? Sounds fishy, doesn't it? Well, this is what I see as a problem. What is really needed is a single consistent way for the election of the President of the United States, perhaps the Vice President, and any election that elects the Congress and the Senate members too. You can't have one method used in one county and another method in another county. Yeah, we are all states, but we are all united. That bullshit has to stop, because other countries are exploiting our vulnerabilities and making this a sham election. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.